Hey, Homeworthy. My name is Ghislaine Viñas, and we are in Tivoli in upstate New York. Welcome to my house. Come on in.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hey there. My name is Ghislaine Viñas. I am an interior designer, and I have my company runs out of downtown New York. That's where I have my studio. But today we are up in the Hudson Valley in Tivoli, and we're in my house, which I love, and I'm so excited to share with everybody. So we used to have a house in Bucks County that we like a weekend house, and it was beautiful and we loved it, and we kind of spent a lot of time. We fixed it up, and then during COVID I was spending a lot of time there, sort of left the city for a little bit, and I just felt like I didn't really have a sense of community. We had amazing neighbors, but apart from that, we didn't, I don't know, I just didn't, it wasn't my spot, or our spot. And I had done a project up here in Hudson Valley, in Tivoli. My clients had bought this amazing property that's right on the Hudson, and I just loved the little town of Tivoli. I just loved everything about it. Nature is beautiful, and there's a huge New York creative community up here as well, or just a creative community, a creative hub. And so I felt like, in a way, it was like the best of both worlds, because I get to live in this beautiful environment around nature, and then I get to be a part of all the art and design and the makers up here. So I thought, this is the area that I want to look in, which was kind of helpful because the radius was kind of set already. And I had an amazing broker, and she showed us properties for about a year. And I have to say that my husband was not on board at all in the beginning. He was like, "What? We just finished this house in Bucks. Like, what are you thinking?" And I was like, I know I've got to find my place. And so moving up here and looking around for about a year, we didn't find anything. And then we'd kind of taken a tiny hiatus for a month or so, and we'd stopped looking. And then our broker called and said, "I think you should come see this house." So we were like, okay, we're coming. And we sort of went up the driveway, and Jaime and I kind of looked at each other, and we were like, we didn't even need to say anything. We knew this was the place. It's 46 acres, has 2 ponds, but you couldn't even see the ponds in the front, with these beautiful willow trees, and it's just lovely. And then so we come up on the house, and the house is, I can always see past I can see, I can envision things. I'm always like, when I'm driving around, I'm always like, oh, that house could be beautiful. Like, I'm always fixing things up in my mind already. So it was easy for me to see this house and think how spectacular it was. I mean, it's not big. It's maybe 2,300 square feet, maybe 2,000 square feet. But it had a lot of soul, and I could just see that, and I love that about it. And the homeowners, that was a mother and daughter, they were not well. They were, they had to move out because I think they just couldn't do the upkeep of the house anymore, and I think they needed more care. So the house had fallen into disrepair, and there was a lot of mold, and it was a shambles. Anyway, so we spent about an hour looking at the property, and then the next day we made an offer. The house had been on the market for about a day, and they got 3 offers the next day. And then they were like, best and final, and we put in our best, and we got it, and we were so happy. And then where there used to be like an old barn, like we tore it down because if we didn't tear it down, it was going to fall down in about 3 hours after we had decided to take it down. But there was a sign that we found up there that said, hand-painted sign about this big, that said, "This is it." And it just felt like, this is perfect. Okay, so here we are in the entry of the house. The entry actually used to be in the kitchen, and this used to be a dining room, but it just kind of had that pass-through feel. So I really love the idea of adding double doors here. And so this is the entry. I think it's a happy hello. These prints are by Nama Rococo, and I love, she does these silk screens and then she goes back into them and paints these beautiful things. They're so lively, and I love these. I got these. This is a Savannah College of Art and Design. This is one of their artists that they have. I think some people might think they're scary, but I think they are freakishly adorable. I love like little vignettes like this as well. This is a friend of mine, Mark Moroney. He has a lot of art in the house, but I think he took this bird and then painted it. And I think crows are kind of very cool. This is a crow I found. And this is actually Jaime, my husband Jaime's grandfather, made all these beautiful kind of ironwork things. So I love like everything sort of has a story here. And then you come into the kitchen and we really sort of opened the space up. It's sort of uncluttered and lovely, and it has this gigantic island. And the funny thing about the island is that I had these David Chipperfield stools from a client who I was doing their apartment, and the first thing they said was, "Let's get rid of these stools." I was like, okay. So I've had these for years and years and years, but I was actually able to design the island to fit perfectly, so these stools fit around here. I love this. These are, if you have outgrown, if your lettuce have become too long, they finally will get flowers, and strangely, I think they're kind of lovely. So that's from our vegetable garden, but we won't be eating that. We added these windows in here. We actually did put all new windows in the house just because we were leaking so much heat. But this is just lovely. Like, I love cooking in this kitchen, and you can cook with bunches of people, and my daughters and my husband, we're often all cooking together, and it's just a great space. This is where the magic happens. My husband Jaime is he's really good at making coffee. He's got a lot of things, but I love that he made this. He's always tinkering with things, and we had this little spot here. What does he call it? The hideout, the older hideout. So he made this, and it houses like the little vacuums. Here's the vacuum for sucking up flies, and his little coffee station. So it's a very much used little space. And then this is kind of lovely because from here you go straight out onto the back porch. And I recently got this this is a Dutch company called Fat Boy, and got this wonderful table and this cute little bar cart over here. Anyway, so we're out there all the time in the summertime because it's wonderful. So this property is sort of interesting. The shape of it is very bizarre. It's sort of a Y shape. It's, you go down, you come up the driveway, and after the house and everything, it kind of splits off and then goes back. It's bizarre. But the house is here after the long driveway, and then there's a barn on the property that we're going to be renovating, and this actually is also going to become the guest house, and we are building a main house and then creating a courtyard and all of that. But that's we're breaking ground in the fall for that. So we're sort of thinking of these buildings as a compound, and so this house is a living room, a dining room, kitchen. Downstairs it has a small powder room, and then when you go upstairs, there are 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms up there. And the lovely thing about this house is that it just gets a lot of sun and a lot of natural light, and it sort of has this beautiful dappled light as well, because there's beautiful, beautiful mature trees all around the property. So it's kind of really magical. And there's a front porch, which we use all the time. And it, you know, different times of year, you really go out and have these different experiences. And the vistas from everywhere in the house are just spectacular, and just, it's just, you know, just nature is so beautiful. And living in New York for so long, you know, I've lived there for 30 years, you just really, really appreciate nature in a way that is just sort of profound. This is there used to be cabinetry here when we got the house, and there was a wall here and a stair going up, but we took that out and made this into sort of a TV room where Jaime and I are always hanging out. This is the dining area. These are chairs that I bought ages ago. I just love this fluorescent color in here. These are by Tom Dixon. And then this art piece here is by Adam Lowenbaum. He is an artist that at the stage when he was painting, he was taking giant photographs of himself. This is a photograph of him in Central Park. And then he paints over it. And there's all kinds of, like, he has pictures of his face that are painted over to look like Dolly Parton and Abraham Lincoln, and all kinds of different characters. And then, you know, I sort of love these collaging elements, and there's so much of a story to them, you know, different pieces that I picked up in my travels. This I got at a local thrift store. This I got in South Africa, and I think this might be I think it's a part of a car or something, I'm not sure. I picked this piece up in the south of France. This is my daughter Saskia. This is her work. And then I love these sort of whimsical, fun elements. This bench is actually part wheelbarrow. It's from a Dutch company, and I saw it when I was in the Netherlands, and I thought, oh, I have to get that. That is just too fabulous. This is a fig tree kit that I cannot believe is still alive, because I am terrible at keeping plants alive, even though I really, 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 really try. It's not from a lack of trying. I sort of love the idea of collecting as well, and this is very specific, but these are all different girls' busts that I found in different places. And this is my latest one. I just got this a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, but they kind of have to speak to me. I think my favorite one is that one with the little page boy haircut. And then these are beads that I picked up in India. And so they're just kind of full of memories, and they just kind of remind me of that trip that we went to. This is a little sculpture that my daughter Saskia made as well. What's interesting about this piece of artwork that's on this wall here, I can't remember the artist's name right now, but this was actually, I love this story. So she had decided, there was a construction site in Brooklyn, and they board them up with this, and you've seen them, they're all painted blue, and they say Post No Bills on them. And she went in and painted these gigantic flowers all over the the boards, and then when the construction site was finished, she cut them all out and she had a show, and she sold the pieces. And I think we got this like maybe good like 20 years ago, and I still love it. It's a lovely piece. This is my wonderful friend Mark Moroney, whose work I am just such a fan of. I think he was doing something in a church, or was inspired by the windows of a church, and then I cannot speak to what on earth this is about, but it really draws me in, and I like pieces like this because I'm constantly looking at them and discovering things. And I mean, that's a sausage. Just how do you think of just painting a sausage there and then just keeping it white? I love that. I think it's kind of hard to describe my personal style because it's so much a sort of part of me. But I suppose that this house is very true to what my personal style is. I like things a little off, and I don't think I'm trying to do that on purpose at all, but I just like, I enjoy enjoy sort of a wacky kind of thing. I enjoy imperfection. I love seeing beautiful things in things that people might not usually typically appreciate. I mean, I definitely love color. I've always loved color. Like, color is something that used to excite me as a child, like opening a box of crayons and like just seeing all those colors. That was something that was so much a part of me. I just know my excitement. I still have that. Like, working with color is just really exciting to me, and I get excited when I see things come together. And yeah, and I think I mean, one thing about this home is that I had all this furniture already, so I didn't go out and buy new furniture. I had most of the art, although my husband and I love going and finding art in our travels. It's a huge part of what we do. But I think my personal style is definitely joyful. I love the idea of the aesthetics of happiness, the aesthetics of joy, creating spaces that just feel good. And I think in this house, like most places that I design, there's definitely rooms with a lot of energy, and then, you know, you kind of go to rooms that are less energy. I'm very focused on the energy in rooms, and very focused on sort of traveling through spaces and how you balance that. And that, you know, a lot of it is with art. I think there's a lot of art in the house that is very meaningful. I think art is just the soul of a home or space or an environment. I definitely, like, I walk into this house and I'm happy. Look here, now we're coming around into the living room, which has this wonderful plaid. And again, I think I'm showing you the art, or pointing out art, because it just is so funny to me, like the things that are on the walls. The sofa, I'm very lucky. A friend gave me this sofa. She got it with the house, and I thought, let me get it. And I reupholstered it in this fabric that we designed for HBF. And then these chairs, they got reupholstered. This is also one of my fabrics for HBF. And they've had a couple of lives. They've been reupholstered a couple of times. This is my daughter's ponytail from when she was about 2 years old. It's an old tea tin or something, and it's a good way to display little mementos. This is a piece by Bethany Blake that she's also a SCAD artist, Savannah College of Art and Design. And it's just so odd. It's so odd. This little character I picked up, I think, in Mexico, and then those flowers are actually also from Mexico, although I picked them up in Philadelphia. But I like that little pairing of objects. This is a stump. I have no idea what this thing is, but I found it in Hudson here. It's soft, and it is just so strange looking. And I saw it, and I thought, I should get it, and then thought, no, maybe not. It's just too strange. And then about 6 months later, I was obsessed and went into the store, and I said, you probably don't have the stump anymore, but and I described what it is. And she was like, yeah, we have it. It's in the back. And so I felt so good that I got a second chance at getting that. If I have to be honest, I have used this fabric for chair upholstery and all kinds of things, probably much too often. It is a textile by Vutsa, a Brooklyn-based company. And I think this was actually a vintage pattern that he found, and he might have recolored it. But there's something like, it feels very like 70s, but it also kind of does well in the country. I love this. I haven't seen it yet, but we did an entire like huge sofa, U-shaped sofa, and it's all in this. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. So you can go big or small. Oh, here's a moment that I love. This is a bust of John Wayne, and John, I sort of love this idea of this like super American thing, because I'm not American by birth. And we use it he holds our straw hats for us. And this cross I got in South Africa in my travels. This base, which it's this fascinating like ceramic black base. I don't know anything about it, but I picked it up at a consignment store in the countryside in Bucks County. These are numbers that come from an old racing car. I guess it could have been 66 or 99 or 96, but it's 69. The house is, for some reason or other, filled with animals. I do not know why I love things that are animals, but the house is full of them. This is a pig from Moke, the Dutch company. He is he's moved around a bit, but I think he's comfy there for a while. This is a bench that I love, but I got this fabric in France, has cheetahs, and I think some people think it's really ugly, but I think it's really beautiful. I know that because my daughters both think it's very ugly. Here are these lovely little booby vases. Look, that's so cute. Who doesn't want some boobs in their living room? Let's see what else. Oh, these I found on a stock. They are stock photography, but I think it kind of tells a lot about country life. And it's weird and freaky. Oh, and my daughter Saskia, I have two daughters. I'm talking a lot about Saskia. I also love my oldest daughter, Mia, but she doesn't have any paintings around the house. This is a piece that she did in high school, I think is lovely. She's still experimenting with her style. I think this is a lovely piece of hers. And then we have this piece of art. We got in our recent travels to Pakistan, and I thought this was so interesting to see. This is made of rivets, and it's obviously based on Vermeer's painting Girl with Pearl Earring, but she has a gold earring in it, and I thought that was amazing for a Dutch girl to go to Pakistan and find this piece. And so it's very like super meaningful to me. So when I'm shopping, the dingier or the like more kind of backroom spaces are what I'm really attracted to. And I'm never out shopping looking for things. It's almost like they're looking for me. And I mean, it's really hard when you're looking for something particular or very specific. I'm usually not that good, but if I'm just looking for things that catch my eye, I love that. And then I sort of tend to kind of incorporate them on walls or in these little scapes that I love creating. But I'm always looking for something to call my name, and it's and that's why I think everything here is a sort of so eclectic, because it just has just being in places, never expecting it, and then just kind of picking things up. And I am not going to show you this because it's embarrassing, but in my basement, I do have shelves and shelves and shelves of all these things that I have collected. It's called the Curated collection of oddities and vases and sculptures, and they're all down there, and I use them a lot for styling when I'm getting to the last phases of a client's house, and I have just tons of stuff that I can bring with me and sort of rotates through the house as well. And then if I've had it for many years, and I mean, some of it I buy knowing that I won't use it in my own house, but it's just that, like, when you're shopping and you're looking for something specific, you're never going to find it. So I love being able to go to this whole collection of things and then pull whatever I want, and it's really great. I love it. Makes me look like a little bit of a hoarder, but it's very, very organized, and everything is cataloged as well. So I don't know if that makes me like less hoardy. I think it does. I have pretty much always known that I've wanted to be an interior designer. I think a dead giveaway would be the fact that I got rid of all the shoes in the bottom of my closet and turned it into a Barbie house. And I think it's very funny that I put a lot of art on the walls, aka magazine cutouts. But I also loved going to see open houses with my mom. I grew up in South Africa. The architecture there can be quite interesting and really beautiful, and I just was fascinated with looking at how people lived. Like, both my mom and I, we just loved it. And my mom has a really good eye for design. And so I was just always, she also loved fashion. And so that was always something that seemed really interesting to me. And then I sort of never had to question that that's what I wanted to do. But I came to America to study. But the start of my career in New York was really working for a modular furniture company. And I learned sales, which to me was like that was like an ugly word. I didn't love that I was doing sales. In hindsight, it is the best thing I ever did. I think sales are incredibly important and very helpful in what I do today as an interior designer and running a design firm, and it really set like a great foundation. But in the early days, I started my firm just out of my apartment after a friend introduced me to a young woman who was my age. I was 30 or 29, but we were both the same age, and she was starting it was the dot-com era, and she was starting she was selling art on the internet. And my friend said, oh, you should speak to Ghislaine. She does offices, because the modular furniture system, I did a lot of offices. Anyway, she thought I did, full-fledged design projects, which I think one thing about me, I have always been kind of fearless, and not because I'm like, oh God, I'm so bold, I'm gonna go, and like, it's sort of a naive kind of thing, like thinking I could do that, why not, And so I took on this project. I kind of got to do a 10,000 square foot office space in this Starrett High building, and which is on 26 on the West Side Highway. And at that time, that building was really being developed. Martha Stewart was about to move in. It has huge footprint. It's a fascinating building. Anyway, so I got to do that, and that project went great. So I finished that office space, and then I did all kinds of really, I don't want to say crap projects, but I mean, you have to make money, so crap projects. And I know at times I felt like impatient that things weren't happening fast enough, but you know, I do think that it took probably a good 15 years to establish sort of my business and to get known for a specific kind of energy in my work. And you know, as a designer, you kind of start by kind of sitting, and then you start crawling, and then you start you know, walking, and then running. And I feel like at this point I am absolutely leaping and jumping and dancing and doing pirouettes, and it's crazy. It is so incredibly gratifying to do what I do and to have learned my craft and to have put in so much time into this. And I just think that I'm getting better and better, and I have an incredible team of designers. We have about 10 people in the office, and they are everything to me. My team is just incredible bunch of women who many have been with me for many years, and have put up with my nonsense for that long. But it is a joy. It is an absolute joy to do what I do. So this is the back of the house over here, and we've sort of created this this round area and put pebbles down, and we use it a lot. In the fall, we have really nice fires in the middle here, and it's right off the back porch, which is lovely. And then what's really nice, and that's the barn over there. And then what's really nice here too is that over here we have just beautiful, it's a bit foggy today, but we have really beautiful views of the Catskill Mountains over there. Just lovely to kind of be surrounded by so much land and so many hills. And these trees that I was talking about, these lots of really gorgeous mature trees, and this lovely dappled shady space in here. But you know what, I should show you the rest of the property. So let's pop in the Moke and go and take a look. Okay, so I do a lot of mowing. It's kind of like, for me, it means getting on the tractor and just spending a good 3.5 hours, sometimes 4. And I've created all these paths through the property. And, oh no, let's go this way. Oh, there's this part in the property that's kind of a little off-roading. I mean, it's all off-roading, really. Okay, look, we have a drop. Look at this. Woohoo! Okay, I'll show you this really pretty field. I love taking walks out here. And I never knew all the wildflowers out here, and I am slowly learning their names and figuring out what they are and seeing beauty in the wild. I hardly ever buy flowers because I end up just picking them from the property. I am going to show you the ponds, but we are going to stop at my vegetable garden. This is the funnest little thing. We're gonna renovate this. This is the next project. But this is a little pigsty that the previous owners had, and we have now turned it into a sort of potting shed. But things are going to be beautiful there one day. We're going to extend it. So this is my vegetable garden. Let's see what I have right now. I have lettuce that grows too long. I have, oh, look, those are like, those tomatoes are going to be, I have lots of eggplants. Okay, so this is the barn, but I'm going to show you the barn, but it's absolutely a work in progress. But it's kind of amazing because it has, look at these gorgeous views here that we have out of the barn. And then right now, this is a little bit of a hoarder's paradise. It's not that bad, but it needs to get clean. These are fines, these are chairs. I think these chairs are amazing, but I have to reupholster them. These are e-bikes. We love taking our e-bikes out. I'll try not to kill myself over here, but this is, eventually we'll open up this as well. So this barn has a really lovely view of the fields, and over there you can see the pond. Well, the ponds, because they're spring-fed, always kind of depends on the time of year, and they can be quite empty sometimes, and sometimes they are so lush and full and they're wonderful. But really, these, we didn't, as I said, we didn't even see these ponds when we first bought the property because they were so overgrown, but they have the most gorgeous willow trees around them and kind of beautiful. Little fishies in there, little muskrats, which are kind of freaky little animals, but they're terribly cute. This is the front of the house. There is this massive, massive oak tree that I like to climb sometimes. This is how far I climb. I won't climb any higher than this because that's dangerous. And this is where the chipmunks live, and there's 3 baby groundhogs under this tree as well. Very cute. This porch, when we got the house, this porch was like so angled because the groundhogs had been under the house and sort of disrupted the foundation. So we had to kind of prop it back up again and put new stairs on it. And I love this. This is, I don't hear very well, but I do hear these chimes, these wind chimes that a friend gave to us. And I sort of love, like, these chairs are so comfy. They're from Casamidi, a place in Mexico, in San Miguel de Allende. And I found these and I just love them. They're comfy and great. And it is just so peaceful. The wind is blowing in my hair. I need a cocktail. That's what I need. Oh no, it's too early. It's 12:48. No cocktails. No cocktails. But I love this porch. It just makes me want to spend a lot of time out here and have some deep thoughts. I think it's hard to pick a favorite spot in the house, but I think I think one of the most dynamic spaces in the house is this room that we're in right now. I knew I wanted to wallpaper it, and I knew that I wanted to be kind of, this house, I love this about where we live, but it's freezing cold in the winter and boiling hot in the summer. So your house has to kind of feel great in all the seasons. And so I kind of felt like this room is a room that we use a lot in the wintertime. It has a fireplace, and I wanted to feel like a kind of tongue-in-cheek, sort of old stuffy library. But we decided to do this plaid because I just kind of I do love plaid, and I think we've kind of done a contemporary version of this plaid. It's sort of blown it up, and this green is just very comfortable and fun, and I think it's a sort of unexpected room. I think what balances it out is that most of the furniture in here is kind of white or cream, so there's a strong contrast with that, and then there's lots of I don't know, it just has a good energy. I love being in here. Another part of the house that I really like is like zooming into a tiny detail is actually there's a little curtain under. We have in our bedroom, in the primary bedroom, we have a tiny, very cute bathroom, and that we kind of smushed in there. It has like a sloping ceiling, but there are curtains under the sink that I found on, I think, Marketplace or Etsy or something. They were exactly the right size. They fit under that. They have like this perfect little kind of fun frill trim thing on it. I don't know. It's a moment, and the bathroom is like a lovely pale mint green. And it just looks so perfect in there, and I love looking at it. It actually gives me joy every time I look at that little moment there. But I think the fun thing is that we opened up the kitchen a lot, and the kitchen is it's very black and white, and it's kind of, I guess it's a little minimalist, and it's a big open space, so you kind of go from open spaces to smaller rooms that feel more intimate, like this one, and then you go out again, and it just has a good feel to it. Come on up and see the bedrooms upstairs. Upstairs, everything is renewed and refreshed, and we kind of maxed out closets by going into the eaves of the house. So all the rooms have like these lovely huge closet spaces. So this is one of the guest rooms, aka Mia's room. It's kind of, it's totally filled with treasures. This piece we got in Pakistan when we were there. This is one of my daughter's paintings, Saskia. And this is actually the house where we got married. We got married up here in near Woodstock, and so it's a really special piece. I love this pig console. I got him at ICFF one year. He was a prototype for Saletti. And this little guy, this little deer, is from Paul's Potten. It's a Dutch piece that I love. It's little cute little housey my daughter Saskia made. Scary foot. That's cute. That's not scary. This we got in India. I love it. It's all made with yarns, and you can just look at it forever. I'm like, how does somebody do this? How does somebody make that look so beautiful with yarns? This is Saskia, also another piece by Saskia that she did in school, a color theory class. This is Mark Mulroney, who is a friend, and we have loved his art around. This is, I think this is Chris O'Cleary. He's an artist that does very fine hand-cut paperwork and then sort of meshes them inside sheetrock that's been wallpapered. I love that. this is a fantastic birdhouse, but I've got to hang it somewhere. Still figuring that out. So this is the guest room. Oh, look, and the rug. This is one of our designs. This is a rug that we designed and fits perfectly in here. My daughter Mia loves pink. She's a girly girl. This is our bedroom, and I must tell you that I still need to hang curtains, so I'm still working on that. I love this. I mean, we had nowhere else to put the bed, really, but I absolutely, like, I tried to get this in my new house, but it just didn't go. But putting the bed behind a window is amazing when you wake up, because I wake up and I spend hours looking, not hours, that's a lot of time, not hours. I spend a lot of time just gazing out that window, and it's so nice. This is little tiny little bathroom that we carved out. So there was only one bathroom up here. So we carved this out, and it's a little, like, there we go, a bit of a slope. Look at these curtains. These are the cutest thing in the world. I love that. And this is such a great color green. It's very calming. That's why I'm so chill, because I live around this color all the time. And then you can peek into another bedroom over here. This is Saskia's bedroom. And then this is our hallway. This is another, like, collecting thing that I do. I just at one point noticed that I had a lot of art pieces that had blue in them. And this is actually, I didn't buy anything for this wall. These are all pieces that we sort of had. This was one of my very first art pieces that I owned. It's by Leah Tenari. It was given to me by my client and friend Paige. I love, these are pieces that I've picked up from so many different places. This is Saskia did a self-portrait, a photograph of herself underwater. This is a piece we bought in South Africa. This is that tree outside over there that our friend Stedroy painted and gave to us, and it's very special to me. Okay, this is absolutely freaky. I admit that this is very freaky. That is a guy that I found about 3 months ago out in the yard, and I cleaned him up. And I've moved him, but my husband also moves him. We've never talked about it, but he kind of, like, sometimes he'll be on different sills and above different doors. So that is a very, very special thing. This, this is, I think, my sort of approach to redoing the bathroom. Sort of taking this volume and just making this whole thing orange. It's actually really uplifting to be in here. Then the rest of the bathroom is white, but just great views outside. You can be here. Look at me, I'm on the toilet, just looking outside, deep thoughts. Oh, this little guy got in Mexico City. Oh, and this is funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's silly. Sometimes the table and the floor lamp like to trade places. And this is a little cabinet, like a shoe polish cabinet, and a container that I found on the street in when I was in the Netherlands once. Everything has a story. So what makes a house a home? I think what makes a house a home is if you can feel somebody's energy in it. So I think, to me, what isn't a home is something that's so generic that anybody could live there, like a cardboard cutout of a person, right? So maybe the house is perfect, everything's in the right place, there's perfect flowers everywhere, but there's no personality or no soul or no attitude. I think I think when a house has an attitude, I think it's amazing. Like, I love when people come in and say, oh, I just, you know, I need time to go and look around and like see all the little details and stuff. I love that. I love that. I love living around that. So I love when other people enjoy it as well. But I think a home is special when you're in it and you just enjoy, like really enjoy being there and being a part of it. And it invites you in. And it makes anybody want to just walk in without directing them, like sit here or go here. But if a house just welcomes you in and you know where to go, what to do in it, that's something really beautiful.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.